Welcome to Just Gist TV. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because today's revelation is shaking both Nollywood and social media to the core. Maurice Sam's unexpected visit to Sonia Uche's father has ignited a storm of questions, whispers, and speculations that simply refuse to die down. To understand why this one quiet visit has blown up into a full-blown frenzy, you have to look at the exact timing, the body language, and the impossible-to-ignore tension surrounding Sonia Uche and Maurice Sam for months. Fans have been convinced there was something deeper behind their warm chemistry on screen. Critics kept insisting it was simply good acting. Nollywood insiders kept dropping coded hints here and there. But nothing has fanned the flame more than this singular detail. Maurice Sam sat privately with Mr. Uche, Sonia Uche's father, and spent nearly an hour in what sources described as a deep, man-to-man conversation. And now everyone is asking the same burning question: was he receiving marriage guidance? Before we dive deep, don't forget, tap subscribe right now if you want more exclusive gist, the kind that drops earlier here than anywhere else. Now, here's where the whole situation turns from interesting to explosive. According to people close to the Uche family circle, the meeting wasn't a casual visit, wasn't a friendly drop-by, and definitely wasn't the random hangout that some Nollywood commentators tried to sell it as. No. Maurice Sam reportedly arrived with a seriousness that immediately caught attention. Not in a distressed or troubled way, but in that focused manner that a man has when he's about to ask for clarity, direction, or perhaps permission. Eyewitnesses described his presence as respectful but intentional, the kind of presence a man carries when meeting a woman's father for a conversation that matters on a personal level. And this has fueled a silent but roaring debate. Is Maurice Sam planning something major? Or has something already been planned behind the scenes? Let's be honest, this isn't happening in a vacuum. Not after months of increasing closeness between Sonia Uche and Maurice Sam that neither of them openly denied. Not after their on-screen magic in multiple films where their chemistry went from charming to alarmingly natural. Not after fans started creating entire fan pages dedicated to Monia, the ship name that has effortlessly taken over social media. What's even more suspicious is the exact nature of the conversation. Reports that leaked from a close associate, someone who claimed to have seen the two men together after their discussion, said Sonia's father was smiling in a way he hasn't smiled in a long time. A warm, approving smile. The kind fathers give when they have just heard something they secretly hoped for but weren't expecting to hear so soon. And that smile, that single smile has now gone viral. Before we go further, hit that subscribe button. This gist is too hot to miss, and there is more where this came from, right here on Just Gist TV. Now, let's break down the details that everyone keeps analyzing. 1. Maurice's body language. People who saw him that day noted that he carried the energy of someone with a mission. He wasn't nervous, but he wasn't casual either. He was described as purposeful. You don't walk into a respected father's space with that energy unless something is weighing on your heart, something big. 2. Mr. Uche's reaction. This is where things get interesting. Sonia's father is known for his calm, wise, and reserved nature. He chooses his words carefully. He avoids unnecessary drama. So the fact that he and Maurice reportedly spent almost an hour talking privately without Sonia or anyone else present is enough to send alarm bells ringing across Nollywood. Fathers in Nollywood families don't give men that kind of time unless the conversation is serious. 3. The topic of the conversation. Sources who overheard fragments of the talk claimed there were mentions of future, responsibility, and what matters most. These are not phrases used in casual conversations with your daughter's colleague. These are the kinds of phrases linked with commitment, long-term plans, and the kind of discussions that families have before moving to the next stage. Even more intriguing are the whispers, still unconfirmed, that Maurice was asking for guidance. Guidance on what exactly? Life. Career. Direction. Or was he speaking about Sonia? The big twist is this: those same whispers claim Mr. Uche responded with the type of advice fathers give to men preparing for marriage, not dating, not courtship, but marriage. Words about leadership, understanding, patience, protecting a home, and respecting a woman's purpose. The type of counsel older men give younger men when preparing them to become husbands, not boyfriends. And that is precisely why fans and critics are at war online. Some believe Maurice Sam is preparing to propose. Others believe the engagement has already happened privately. A few believe Sonia's family has already given their blessing. And a controversial portion of fans believe the oncoming wedding rumor is not a rumor at all, but a controlled leak. What's feeding that fire even more is how quiet both Sonia and Maurice have suddenly become. Silence speaks loudly in Nollywood. When actors rush to deny something, sometimes it's because the news is false. But when actors suddenly go mute, when both of them start avoiding questions, when close friends begin acting unusually careful, that's when fans know something is brewing. Remember the Uche saga that erupted that time. Everyone denied everything until the truth couldn't hide anymore. This situation feels exactly like that, only calmer, cleaner, and handled with more maturity. But here's where the story turns dramatic. A few Nollywood insiders, the ones who rarely missed, are now claiming that the conversation between Maurice and Mr. Uche wasn't the first step. It was the second. That Maurice already had an initial conversation with someone very close to Sonia, possibly a member of the Uche sisters circle. That earlier meeting supposedly focused on Sonia's growth, her desires for the future, her career goals, and her boundaries. If this claim is true, it means Maurice didn't walk into Mr. Uche's space blindly. He came prepared, steady, and thoughtful, already knowing what Sonia values deeply. That revelation has left fans divided. Some are calling it romantic. Others say it's suspiciously strategic. Critics insist it's nothing but PR build-up for an upcoming movie. But those close to the family are saying, no movie script can manufacture this level of sincerity. Now let's talk about Sonia. Her recent posts have taken a dramatic shift, more thoughtful quotes, fewer public interactions, a subtle radiance, and a calmness that seems too perfect to be accidental. Her sisters, especially Ifeoma, have also been unusually careful with their captions. And you know how Nollywood sisters behave when big news is coming. They don't announce it. They hint it. They glow quietly. They post coded messages. They stay peaceful, but their eyes tell the full story. Meanwhile, Maurice Sam himself has been carrying himself differently. More mature. More grounded. More decisive. He used to be active online every other day. But now, he appears less frequently, and when he does, there's a certain peacefulness around him that people can't stop noticing. The timing is too perfect to be coincidental. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss the updates that will follow this one, because this gist is evolving even as we speak. Hit subscribe and stay plugged into Just Gist TV, your home of the most exclusive, unfiltered, and unstoppable Nollywood revelations. Back to the story. There's a new rumor, one that's just beginning to circulate, quietly, subtly, like smoke before fire. It claims the meeting between Maurice Sam and Mr. Uche might not have been about the proposal itself, but about a date already chosen by both families for something bigger. Something traditional. Something ceremonial. Something significant. If this rumor is true, then the public might not even get a hint of the engagement until after the families finalize the next stage. The Uches are known for their dignity and privacy. They don't rush to social media to announce life-changing events. They handle things quietly, gracefully, then let the world find out organically. But there's more. Some insiders claim Maurice asked a direct question, a question every father expects but never prepares fully for. What do you think is the most important thing I should know before stepping into your daughter's life permanently? If this line truly happened, then the marriage question isn't just speculation. It's practically confirmed. That kind of question is asked only when a man has already made up his mind, found his peace, and chosen his path. And according to those same whispers, Mr. Uche gave an answer that reportedly touched Maurice deeply. An answer that made Maurice sit back, reflect, and nod slowly with gratitude. An answer that left both men with a shared understanding, the kind that marks the beginning of a new chapter. And this new chapter might be heading straight toward an altar. Now let's address the critics. Some people insist this entire story is exaggerated. They say it's all for attention. They say actors visit colleagues' families all the time. They say people are overthinking it. But here's the thing, Critics have said the same thing every single time Nollywood couples try to guard their privacy. Fans have grown wiser. They know how to connect dots that Nollywood prefers to scatter. And this particular dot, Maurice Sam quietly visiting Sonia Uche's father, is not a dot that sits alone. It sits inside a network of signs, hints, glances, whispers, and decisions that have been building for months. Let's not also forget the tension that erupted earlier in the year when fans noticed that Maurice Sam was becoming extra protective of Sonia on set. Some said it was cute. Some said it was unprofessional. Others called it a soft sign of affection. But now, in hindsight, fans are saying, it makes perfect sense. Before we wrap this up, don't forget to subscribe, because if this story unfolds the way insiders are predicting, Just Gist TV will be the first to break the next chapter. Now, back to the final twist. A source, someone deeply connected to Nollywood's young power circles, claimed that after Maurice and Mr. Uche finished their conversation, Mr. Uche said something unusual. Something symbolic. Something powerful. Make sure you build a home, not just a life. That sentence has been circulating quietly because those who heard it believe it confirms everything. Fathers don't speak that way unless they already approve. An approval, in this context, changes everything. To summarize the scandal that's burning across social media. Maurice Sam visited Sonia Uche's father. They spoke privately for almost an hour. The conversation sounded like marriage guidance. The timing aligns with months of growing closeness. Both families have gone suddenly quiet. Fans believe a wedding is coming. Critics are confused. But insiders, they are smiling. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain. Something big is happening behind the scenes, and this visit was not ordinary. Thank you for watching Just Gist TV. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time, because this story is far from over, and what's coming next will shake Nollywood again. Stay tuned. More gist loading.